I want to welcome you back to Mo Talk with Sports and Mo. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share. Yo, what is happening? This is Shia Yashub, and this is a Mo Talk. We're going to get into some Dallas Cowboy news, some Micah Parsons news, and Jerry Jones news. Jerry Jones found his way to the Playmakers podcast, if that's what it is that you want to call it. And they sat down and they chopped it up for about an hour, and it was a lot of interesting things that came out of that show. Myself personally, I don't agree with the fact that Jerry went on there and started running his mouth and talking about the negotiations that he had with Michael Parsons and his agents. I feel like that's something that probably should have been kept in-house. But if it is true on the things that he is saying, then it left me believing that Michael Parsons may need to rethink whom he is allowing to be his agent. Why I don't agree with it is because that's business. That's Dallas Cowboy business, and that's Michael Parsons business. That's really not our business. And you have painted a picture of Michael Parsons to the public that I don't think was all that necessary, but it's out there now, and we're going to talk about it. I have been a Dallas Cowboy fan for as long as I can remember. As to date of my memory, I can say that I can go back to maybe 1982, 1983. Robert Newhouse was my favorite Dallas Cowboy player. Very first favorite Dallas Cowboy player, number 44, fullback position. I have been a Dallas Cowboy fan before Jerry Jones. And if I live long enough, I will be a Dallas Cowboy fan even after Jerry Jones. One thing about Jerry Jones is that Jerry Jones has very, very tough skin. We can talk about him. We can dislike him. We can, say whatever it is that we want to say. Jerry is going to weather that because Jerry was the most hated man in all of Dallas when he first came in and he purchased his team. And he fired Tom Landry. I have a sister today, all of these years later, still hate the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones because of that firing. She was a Dallas Cowboy fan. And after Jerry came in and took over the team, she had nothing else to do with the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry weathered that. People was probably buying tickets for Jerry to fly his ass back to Arkansas. They did not want him here. But he weathered it. And he weathered it for 3 Super Bowls. And Jerry has been chasing Super Bowls ever since he fired Jimmy Johnson. Jerry has been trying to do it himself because what he realized when those Super Bowls came, even though he was a huge reason of those Super Bowls because it was him who hired Jimmy Johnson. It was him who was writing the checks. It was him who was agreeing to the things that took place in order to get those Super Bowls and to getting Herschel and trading him to Minnesota and getting all of those draft picks and rebuilding a team from the offensive line out and getting Emmitt Smith and giving and going to get Troy Aikman and even bringing in Norv Turning and Weinstadt. Jerry had a significant part in all of that. None of that could have happened without Jerry. But Jerry didn't hear Jerry's name as much as he thought that he should. And he got rid of Jimmy Johnson. One more Super Bowl after that with Barry Switzer, but you and I could have coached that team. They wasn't being coached by Barry Switzer. That was just a prime team, right? So what Jerry has been doing all of these years is he has been chasing a Super Bowl so that he can say that this is what I have done. And he has made a lot of bonehead mistakes along the way. But the one thing that I can say since Jerry has been here, whether you agree with the things that he do, disagree with the things that he do, like Jerry, dislike Jerry, Jerry loved his Dallas Cowboys. Writing a check has never been a thing to Jerry. Writing a check under a contract or under a table, it's never been a thing to Jerry. Jerry is a shrewd businessman. When you make the level of success that Jerry has made, you will cut some corners. You have probably done some things that you are not proud of. But Jerry has always been loyal to those who have been loyal to him as far as what I have seen throughout the years. The bond that he have with Michael Irvin is tested. The bond that he have with Emmitt Smith, it has been tested. This dude got bonds with players that they have built over the years. But the difference between those players, the Nate Newtons, the Michael Irvins, the Emmitt Smiths, the Troy Aikmans, the difference between those players and the players of today is generational gaps. They were built different than the players are today. And the players today are built different than they were built then. And Jerry, somewhere along the way, he has lost sight of that. And he's still trying to run the organization as if it was in the 1990s. I don't necessarily agree with what Jerry is doing and how he is handling this. But the conversation that he had with Michael Irvin, it brought some insight to this thing. And again, I don't necessarily know if Jerry is telling the truth. But if he is telling the truth, this is one that we can take off of Jerry and we can put it back in Micah. See, everybody has a job. Jerry's job is to write the checks and to manage the team. As a general manager, pick talent to make sure that there is a good product on the field. The talent that he pick, their job is to play in order that they can keep the fans happy. We are too a part of the equation. Now, there is another job that is taking place, which is the media, and their job is to stare our emotions. Throughout the years, I have tried to be a realist fan, not a fanatic. If the product suck, the product suck. But that don't make me not be a fan. I'm not one to say we're going to the Super Bowl every year. We have had some terrible teams. We have had some great teams, but we've been missing a piece here and a piece there. We have had some teams that have probably been good enough to go back to the Super Bowl, but because of our owner, president, and general manager, we didn't make it. That's the type of fan that I am. But I'm also a fan who can separate business from my fandom. And what this is business. So I got a few clips from the interview that Jerry had with Mike. We're going to listen to Jerry and we're going to talk about these here. And what we want to do is separate our emotions from Micah Parsons, from Cowboys. And let's look at this thing from a reality. And let's just assume that what Jerry is saying is truthful. We're going to weigh it at the end. We're going to see. Can we keep this on Jerry? Because I have been real critical because the media did their job good. I have been real critical on Jerry since all of this has happened. But now that Jerry is spoken, and we're hearing his side, we're going to weigh it. We're going to see. Should we be still critical of Jerry? Or is Micah Parsons a part of why the deal has not been done? This is clip number 1 with Jerry and Mike.
Offer was that offer was what we hear was it would it have made Michael, you don't have to tell me the number, but would it have made Michael the highest paid non-quarterback in the league today, which we have all heard that's one of the things that he and his agent wanted.
Yeah.
Without telling me, would that offer
But
have
I can't necessarily say, but I don't want to hedge the question. Okay. It would have made him the highest guaranteed player other than a quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
Other than a quarterback.
Guaranteed money is what it's about in the NFL. It's a violent sport. Every play, every down could be your last play, and it could be your last down. So they want the guaranteed. And if what Jerry is saying is true, I'm not understanding what the problem is. You're going to see later in one of these clips that Jerry, in my opinion, must be telling the truth because he invited the playmaker over to his house and said, yo, you can see what I offered him. I got it. Locked it away. I got it. You can see. And the playmaker said, I'm coming over because I want to see. And if you were offered this much money, that you would have got the biggest guarantee ever, what's the problem, Micah? It makes me wonder, is Micah trying to get out of Dallas? And if that's the case, that's the case. Because business is business. And you do what you got to do so that you can get what you want. And it's making me believe that this probably don't have anything to do with money if Mr. Jones is telling the truth. But we'll see. Here's clip number 2. Check it out.
To turn the table on you a little bit and say,
what's that?
Which is the most the most important increment? The top-rated quarterback,
No doubt,
or the top-rated pass rusher?
Yeah, no doubt. Top-rated quarterback, no doubt.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what Dak had going for him because he was out of contract. And Micah is a pass rusher, outstanding. We need him to win, and we should have him to win. We can have him 3 years, like it is right now. We can have him 3 years without having a disagreement. He should though, in my mind, because he'd be the highest guaranteed player ever on defense. Was what he's been offered.
Okay.
He said it again. He'll be the highest guaranteed player ever on defense. Is what he has been offered. Now, what Jerry was doing there when he was talking to Mike was he was flexing as an owner. What a lot of people don't understand is that the NFL is an owner's league and not a player's league, meaning that the owners have all the leverage. The players belong to the owners. This is how it's set up. And he was talking about Dak, and I didn't necessarily agree with him giving Dak that money, but that's what he wanted to do. That's how he felt fit to manage his team, and he gave him the money. But you notice he did not give it to Dak until his contract was over. That's what he said. See, right now, and this is what Jerry is making mention to you, that as far as I'm concerned, there don't have to be a deal made. Micah belongs to me for 3 years. I can franchise tag him. But it'll be to his best interest to take the deal that I have, because it would make you the highest guaranteed player of a non-offense on the defensive side of the ball. You don't know what's going to happen. You missed games last year because of injury. You see what happened with Dak. This is why guaranteed money is so important to players in the NFL, because Dak got his contract and then he was hurt. He was not even able to finish out the season, a hamstring. And this is what Jerry is saying. He's saying, look, I'm doing my job. I need you to do your job. And I'm trying to pay you. I'm trying to compensate you. And the media is making it look like it's all, and I, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with Jerry going on Michael's show talking his talk, but he's still human. And the media is making it seem like Jerry is the one who is at fault. And Jerry is like, look, I'm doing my job. I've offered this man a lot of money. I don't know what else I need to do. And I want to clear up something about when Emmitt Smith was playing, right? Emmitt held out a couple of games. And that's how the media made it sound, that he held out those 2 games. And we lost those 2 games. And then we got a deal done and Emmitt came back. It was 2 to 4 games. I can't remember. It's been so long ago. But he held out. However, I want to say 2. I think 4 is a lot of games to be losing, especially back then. Teams was deep. But anyway, the deal was done. Emmitt came back. We went on to win a Super Bowl, right? This the thing. Emmitt was not holding out, still under contract. His contract was over. He had no contractual deals with the Cowboys at that time. It was not a holdout. So if the Cowboys wanted him, they had to meet him and offer him something that he and his agent would have agreed to bring him back. And that's what they did. And they went on to win Super Bowls. And Emmitt went on to become the NFL leading rusher. And at the end of his career, he ended it with Phoenix. And Roy Jones put a thumping on that boy at Texas Stadium. His first game back in Dallas in another uniform, and it sounded like a shotgun went off in that joker. And Emmitt himself said, I've never been hit that hard before in my life. But the business thing was he was not under contract. Micah is still under contract. He has no leverage. Jerry got all the leverage. Let's look at this thing from business. Let's put feelings to the side. I like Micah Parsons. I want number 11 on the defensive side of the ball. But you got to look at it from a billionaire's point of view who has been doing business and making deals for years. Even if he's outdated, he still know more than what all of us done forgotten. He know how valuable that dude is. He don't want to see that dude go. So what are we doing? Is it Jerry? Is this all on Jerry? And the reason we feel this because we know that Jerry write the checks and we like, man, just give him what he want. Business person can't do that, people. You cannot just give people what they want. Let's look at this next clip.
Michael, and please forgive me for, since the subject is Micah, okay? I have agreed to give more money than has ever been given in terms of guaranteed money than anyone ever has as far as a defensive player. I've done that. Now I am the cat that writes the check. Okay? Now, Micah's got 3 years with the Cowboys left. He's got 3 years. At some point, somebody has to have the say over the other.
I just want to pause it there again. That's three clips that we have listened to, and Jerry has reiterated all 3 times that I am trying to make him the highest guaranteed player on the defensive side of the ball. Guaranteed, meaning that if you sign this and you go out and get hurt day one, you still walk away with all of this money. Even though I'm interpreting what this man is saying, even though you're still under contract with me for the next 3 years, you don't have enough in your butt to leverage me. At some point, somebody got to show their strength, got to show that they the bull in the room, and that's what Jerry is doing. I didn't just wake up one day and piss out the window and became the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. When I purchased this, I'll be the first to tell you I had no idea what I was doing. But my daddy told me, and I learned this from the documentary I was watching, my daddy told me that if you don't know what you're doing, make it look like you know what you're doing, whether it be with smokes or mirrors or whatever. And I know that to be true my own self, people. And while he was making it look like he knew what he was doing, Jerry got a lot of wisdom along the way. It's Jerry as the reason why the whole NFL is the way that it is right now. So I have no reason to believe that Jerry is lying to us. What do you want, Micah? I'm being critical of you now. Let the man speak.
At some point, it has to be that way. My job is managing the check. Okay? Micah's got to do the playing. Where's the least important part of this whole equation we're talking about? What is the least incremental part of the whole equation? The attorney or the agent. Okay? He works for Micah. Okay? He's not the principal here in any way. In any way. They're in here to make their percentage. They're in here to basically, yes, advise Micah. Come over to the office and I'll show you exactly what I offered Micah. We got it in the back. It's with all written down, everything to go. Come down and look at that.
I'm gonna get over there and see that.
You can sure look at it. You can sure absolutely look at it. Here's my entire point. Our point. Who is it that basically says this is ultimately recognizing we're trying to come together for an agreement, but absolutely, who is it that can go with it? And so the facts are, I don't know that I've ever been around. I've never tried to buy anything. I've never tried to do anything that I actually was going to bring all of the services and somebody else was going to do all the money. But because the in-between guy wasn't exactly the guy that I had fit there, that kept you from doing the deal.
Right.
That's exactly what's happening here.
So what Jerry is saying is that I sat down with Micah. And listen to this, man. I sat down with Micah and told him what I'm offering. And it sounds to me that Micah agreed to this, but the agent got a problem with it. So what is the agent doing? We're going to bag it up a little bit because did you not hear what Jerry said? The agent's job is to manage Micah, advise Micah, but they also get what? A percentage. So if I can strong arm him into more, then that makes my percentage even bigger. It sounds to me that Micah agent is going to cruise this dude into being franchised because Jerry ain't letting him go. Micah gonna have one or two options. He could go AWOL in football if he don't get what it is that he's asking for, or play out the rest of his contract. And look at getting franchised. And by the time all of this here has happened, who's to say that he's still going to be the number one pass rusher in the NFL? This is the time to get your money. You earned it. Nobody would have a second thought if you get that money now. This is what happened to the running back position. This is why running backs don't last that long now, because owners started realizing after 3 or 4 years, we've been paying these running back all of these money. And after 3 or 4 years, they washed up. They done been touched too much. They done been hit too much. They ain't got it in them no more. So we can't be paying them like that. And so they start forming out of college and start realizing that, man, I can get a running back every 4 years under a rookie contract. And after that 4 years, he ain't no good. He washed up. We could trade him off, go get us another one. Go get him another one. And keep it moving. They used to pay running backs back in the day. Thurman Thomas got paid. Emmett got paid. These running backs got paid back in the day. It was a set market. And as time went by, they didn't. So Jerry, if he's telling the truth, he like, look, what more can I do? I still got it. Mike, you want to come see what I offered them? Come over here and take a peek at it. Again, I don't necessarily agree with what Jerry is doing by talking to Michael Irvin. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't know if what he's saying is true. I don't see why he would be lying. But if he is telling the truth, Micah Parsons, you not being fair to us as fans. Just a week ago, I was saying that Jerry, you're not being fair to us as fans. But now after hearing him sit down and talk to Michael Irvin, and then you go and scrub everything that you have on all of your social medias that have anything to do with the Dallas Cowboys, and you put up there to be determined, bruh, you acting like a YN right now. And that's not a good look. I think I got one more clip. It's the clip that everybody has been talking about, right? And man, if this is true, if this is for real true, Michael, you need to get rid of that agent. Or you keep playing what you playing, maybe you will get what you want, which is obviously out of Dallas. Check it out.
But I would say this, the world would know that I want Micah if they knew what I had offered him, and he knew what, and he knows what I offered.
I'm sorry, this is not that clip. This is the one before this one. All right.
So the world would know that I want Micah to play on the team and that I respect him for what he can bring to the team. And now, as it turns out in this particular case, you say, well, what happens? Well, what happens is that we have a contract, and there's this year remaining under the contract. And then in the NFL, I get at our volition to extend that contract another year. We'll pay him like a franchise and another one after that.
Remember, I told you that this is a owners league and not a players league. So that's what he just explained. He's still under contract, that rookie contract. When that contract is over with, as an owner, I have the privilege to extend that contract and franchise him for another year. That's what, 4, 5, that's 6 years of wear and tear. It's not making any sense to me if Jerry is telling the truth that he is guaranteeing you more money than any defensive player ever, and you turning it down, you still showing up in shorts. You're not out there hitting somebody trying to get at the quarterback. Come on, man. Micah. Come on now. You too light in the butt to play with Jerry. I thought this was all Jerry. I thought Jerry was losing his mind. But if what Jerry is saying is true, Micah.
So we really got 3 years to work this thing out. And it's a basic contract that's there to go. And I did that with Dak, and we couldn't agree. So Dak played his last year of his contract, and then we franchised him. And so it's exactly what happened with Dak. And we moved forward. And of course, ultimately, we got a contract, made Dak the highest paid player in the NFL.
That's what he did with Dak. I didn't agree with it. I wished he hadn't paid Dak. Not that Dak is a terrible quarterback, but I don't see Dak getting us nowhere. Right? So, and we know that Jerry could have done signed Micah in the off season. He had time to sign Micah, but you also got to put this in consideration. See, I've never been a billionaire, never. So I can't tell you that I think like a billionaire, but I got to imagine that even as a billionaire, you still count your coins, right? We got to put this in consideration of how Jerry look at this thing, which is, I pay these players all of this money and then they go get hurt. So I'm not even getting a return on my investment. You gotta believe that this is what's in this man's mind. And it's understandable. So if the money is there, and it's not going to stay there forever, if the money is there, somebody please explain to me why Micah is not taking that money. Maybe I'm missing something. I will be bold enough to admit that maybe I am missing something. Last clip of the night.
That. I'll let it go at that. I'll drop this one thing on you because this.
When we wanted to send the details to the agent told us to stick it up our ass.
Oh, wait. Now, see, I was
just so you're clear.
Wait. What do you mean? So wait. Well, what do you mean? Because people are going to ask.
Mike and I talked. Mike and I talked, and then we were going to send it over to the agent. And we had our agreements on term, amount, guarantees, everything. We were going to send it over to the agent. And the agent said, don't bother because we've got all that to negotiate. Well, I'd already negotiated. I'd already moved off my mark on several areas. And so the issue, very frankly, is we've had the negotiation in my mind. And the agent's trying to get his nose in it. right now and try to come in there and improve off the mark that we'd already said. It's the mama daddy deal. You go into mama and she won't do it. And she's the boss. So much. She won't do it. So you run into daddy. Daddy says, do it. And then you go back in and say, mama, daddy said it was all right. It's the old mama daddy deal. We've all been there and done that. Well, we've got this deal resolved in my mind for the Dallas Cowboys. And we've got it done. And if the agent wants to finish up the detail, which is should, and do all the paperwork, and he can do that, and we're ready to go. But as far as the amount of money, the years, the guarantees, all of that, we've negotiated that.
There it is, people. I have no reason to believe that Jerry is lying at all. He said that he moved after his mark a couple of times. That's money talks, meaning that I came with this and this here was negotiated and I met that. And that's him talking to Micah. You can understand a person in Jerry's seat just not wanting to deal with agents, but it's part of the game. But agents are like sharks. They are trying to drain everything that they possibly can out of you. That's what they're doing. Everything and anything, because the more that they can get out of you, the more is going to be in their pockets. They're like salesmen. That's what they are like. Trying to sell you a pair of shorts in Alaska. That's what they're like. And so Jerry said, as far as the negotiations, the guarantees, the terms, he said it's done. In other words, he's saying he's not moving. This is why there has not been any phone calls. This is why there has not been no more talks. Because as far as Jerry is concerned, he's done enough talking. He has done more than probably what he feels that he should. He has offered to make him the highest guaranteed player in the NFL on the defensive side of the ball. Jerry's like, we gonna go one way or the other. And if what Jerry is saying is true, I don't blame Jerry. He ain't gonna trade him. I'm sure he'll take a full losing season. I would. I'd let the ship go down before I trade you and let you have your way. That's how petty I am. But you're going to be stuck here, right? You're going to be stuck here. And y'all are hearing this from a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. Been a fan all my life. I want to see Micah on opening day. But I don't know what the hell is going on between these two. I really wish Jerry had to stay silent, but that's not how Jerry do things. Jerry run his mouth, and one thing for sure that I know is that Jerry is also enjoying all of this attention that he is receiving. This year, Yeshub, y'all get at me. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this one. Is Jerry at fault? Am I missing anything? Right? Because I'm not an expert on contracts, NFL contracts, and none of that, right? But I'm an expert on common sense. And it seemed like to me that the common sense thing would be for Micah Parsons to take that money, man, and be ready week 1 against them Eagles. Y'all get at me. Y'all let me know what y'all think.